Peggy 16. Who's Peggy?
In a world where gaming is everything, welcome to the Extreme Gaming Podcast.
Welcome, Extreme Gaming Podcast, episode 285. We're closing in on 300. Today on the show, we have myself, of course, Grey Gamer 25, and...
Hello, Trev, as always. Hope you're having a good one.
And myself, Matt, also known as Irish Guardian, not Gamer. That's totally different one at all. Don't do that. Give it to the other one. That's the one.
And we have a special... We have a special guest today. Go ahead, Marek. You can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Marek. I don't have a funny nickname. Should I say what I do or like?
Sure, go ahead. No, give it a plug. We're going to talk about it, but give it a plug.
Sure. So I run GameHo.io, which is on-demand game servers. They're cheaper than usual game servers that run all the time. Yep, that's it.
All right. Let me get the paperwork out of the way. As they say, join our Discord, discord.gg/Extreme Gaming Podcast. We've actually had a few people join the last week, which is nice. Any tech questions that you might want to ask us, or any questions you want to ask us, we don't care. Join the podcast and put it in the Gen chat, or if you wish, you can email to us at info@extremegamingpodcast.com, especially if you're sending checks and stuff. Anyway, EGP quick breaks. Look for them on YouTube. Look for our shorts on YouTube. Look for our videos so you can see our ugly face. And if you don't want to do any of that, then just listen to the audio podcast, which is all over the place and on some of the best podcast services around. Game nights when we don't have things to do are usually on Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. BST. So we like to get together, and we've had some good nights. Sometimes we get busy, but we've had some very good sessions and some games and stuff that we play. Even though Tarl is sick today, Tarl, feel better. If you do want to check out his site, it's gamertech.org, and he puts together and builds some really great computers, and he'll work out a package for you and so forth. So go ahead on the site, tell him we sent you, and that'll be all good. On the socials, we're on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Extreme Gaming Podcast, and for some silly reason on X, we're only Extreme Podcast.
It's not silly. It was taken, and I'm not paying the ransom for Extreme Gaming Podcast.
That's right. I was going to write a personal letter to Musk, but I don't think he'll listen to me. He's having enough trouble on his own.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to kind of roll into the show. If you're listening, you heard Marek introduce himself. Again, Marek is the head of a group or company or whatever called GameHo. That's GameHo.io. I really found GameHo quite by accident. I was just kind of cruising around looking for different things, and GameHo popped up, and I'm just going like, seriously. So I'm sitting there reading this, and I'm seeing where we have always said amongst us here at the podcast that we wish we could, not have to pay so much for servers, because we'll play like maybe a few days or a week intensely, let's say, and then we get stuff to do, man. It's, there's always stuff to do, family, other things, and we won't play for 3 weeks, but we got to pay anyway. And then we always used to say, well, it'd be nice if you could just pay as you go. And all of a sudden, so when I was cruising the internet and I found GameHo.io, I'm going like, really? I said, this guy's really doing what we were talking about. So I'm going to let you explain a little more, Marek, but I just kind of want to start off with a question. I mean, when did GameHo become real?
It became real during COVID. I was playing way more, and I was playing with buddies at work. So much like you, the same conversation occurred that, you pay for a server, and that server just keeps running for entire month, whether you play or not. So eventually I started knocking on a solution for us, but it was good enough, so started promoting it outside, and it's slowly growing. Yeah, generally the idea is, the general idea that you just pay for an hour, return to whatever you were doing, then a week later you pay yet again for an hour. It's like most of the tech starts working this way now. So it's like just...
Martek, do me a favor, come close to your mic because I'm losing you.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
Much of the tech is already going this way, that you pay for usage, that you don't have to sort of subscribe for the whole for a whole period. You can just use some stuff for a bit and move on. Yeah.
What's your background that you got to do this or decided to do this or whatever?
Yeah, I'm a software engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, in my day job, I'm doing funny software projects and also like as a hobby.
It must be fun. What you said you did this in COVID. Are you hosting servers of your own? Is that how this is working, or?
No. I'm using cloud services. So you just utilize the cloud service offerings, and if the cloud service offering allows you to have like use pay per usage, so pay per hour. So I just like sort of move that cost towards my customers, and that's kind of it, with a bit of margin, but like that's understandable.
How well is this happening? How successful have you been since then?
It's slowly growing. Like it's after school project, so I have a day job that I'm kind of doing now for 4 days a week. So the ideal situation is that like I move even more outside of my day job and into GameHo. So I just like kind of smoothly move into GameHo. But yeah, so far it's growing. It's I'm getting it doesn't matter how many people. Like I was super worried about I never had a customer facing product or anything like that. So all my experiences are from like other people or whatever other people tell me, and usually they'll tell you like customers are the worst and it's horrible. No, like I think if you're running a small organic product, the customers are pretty great. I get a lot of super cool emails, even if something is like slightly wrong, or once the person knows that it's just like one person doing this whole thing, and that person actually read like whatever complaint or whatever request I had on Discord and actually did something, yeah, they're usually pretty happy. So yeah, my customer experience is like it's all been lies, and customers are pretty cool. Yeah. So you're a customer, right? So yeah,
well, there you go.
There you go.
Matt, I hope you don't have plans to ask every single one of those questions.
Yeah.
I've just saw Matt's questions that he put in the studio
it's only
chat,
50.
and oh my
50?
God.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead, Matt.
The rest of the
pick a
100
couple.
can wait till the next time.
Okay.
Pick 2 or
That's
3,
fine.
man. Jesus.
Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you how do you work out the hours that you are paid? Like from active versus paused servers that you use?
Yeah, so okay. Yeah. This is kind of like the important but like technical bit. So I'm actually like monitoring all the servers, and I know whenever somebody joins or disconnects, right? And yeah, when you disconnect, when everybody's disconnected, I think it's 10 minutes and the server automatically goes down. Yeah. It will go up when you want to play again, like in a week or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Did you actually working the cloud services the way you want, or did you create any of your own software to do things for you?
Oh no. Like yeah. There is a pretty good amount of software, and like there's a lot of optimization that goes into it, because like I'm scheduling within 2 to 3 minutes, but I have to like load up the game starts completely, so it's like provisioned from the bottom. So that takes a lot of time, and there's a lot of tweaking. There's a lot of tweaking there. So that software layer is something that just orchestrates kind of the whole thing. So it's not like I can move between whatever cloud provider. It's more about delivering like the experience and the continuity of it. Yeah.
So you kind of wrote proprietary software for yourself to facilitate what you do then, right? Or
Yeah, and that expanded into a product. Yeah.
One thing I noticed when I was looking at the site, you have one, two, three. Oh, you actually I think added one recently because you have Valheim, Factorio, Satisfactory, Pal World, Enshrouded, and Project Zomboid. So, what determines how many games you want to add to the list, so to speak?
People on Discord. It's like at the level of Valheim and Factorio, I was good. Now Satisfactory, we play a bit of Satisfactory with my group, but at a point of Valheim Factorio, I was all good. But yeah, the rest is people in Discord yapping way too much, and when they do that, usually I have to add it.
I think Marek, you possibly answer my next question then. Which when Gray was reading out the titles there, he missed out a very important title. But
No,
it's probably because you don't support it. Shut up, Matt. I know you live. And that was, I'm a big fan of, well, I still follow it, even though I don't play it much. Rust is a very popular kind of multiplayer game, but it's very toxic and very polarizing. I guess a lot of your guys don't actually play that game in Discord, hence why you don't support it.
I played a bit of Rust. So it's also like, I'm checking, like, it started with Valheim. The rest is Valheim and Factorio because I want it. But the rest is kind of, like I said, it's more of a, like, the initial point was like always pretty much people in Discord. But also, like, I'm usually investigating whenever somebody says it. So, like, say Minecraft, I'm not really interested because Minecraft, people play all these versions of Minecraft. And it's really hard to cater to those people because they're playing some like Java versions or like there's at least 10 or 20 different versions of Minecraft. So Minecraft alone, and there are dedicated hostings towards Minecraft.
Yeah, because there's 20 to 30 million players, so it's like they're taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
So,
well, I guess the reason why I was asking that is like if we let's say if we wanted to approach you and say, "Hey, Marek, we'd like to play Rust," is that a possibility or?
Yeah, in some time span. Yeah, probably. It is a possibility. I was thinking of Rust because like I scan the games. I usually go on Steam DB and I check for multiplayer games that are popular within last week. And that's how I usually like once a month I try to check because some of these games like Enshrouded popped up suddenly on my radar and I added it.
Great game.
Yeah, it's really great.
Pal World, kind of the same. Like just people, so many people wanted this that it was difficult to deny. But with Rust, I did check and investigate because it's a big game. Like a lot of people play it. But I think with Rust, a lot of people are doing like the static servers that for a month because a lot of people have huge groups and people join in or leave and have game sessions. With Valheim, it's pretty obvious that people play it like in game sessions that you have a couple of people and you play for 3 hours and then you don't play at all for another week. But with Rust, sorry.
so Paul, Don, apologies. That's a very good shout about. I never thought of that about how people play that game as opposed to other games because a standard vanilla wipe in Rust is 1 month. You can have less. You can have it a week, 2 weeks, but a lot of people have it vanilla and it's a month. That wouldn't be very practical for your pay-as-you-go kind of method online. So
like I have a pricing calculator, and it's kind of like a really large price once you go like towards like insane numbers. So you say you're playing 10 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
I have people who like play. Then they leave, like they play for 10 hours a day for like 2 weeks or something like that, and then they leave and they don't play anymore. But I have people who are playing that. I even talked with them, like it doesn't make sense anymore. You should just have a normal server.
Would it not make more sense then? Like, I'm just coming out with ideas there that I love the idea of pay as you go kind of thing. That's kind of genius actually. For games that, say, me and the boys wanted to jump on for, say, I don't know, argument's sake, a quick game of COD or something, because they're games where you'll play for a couple hours or a few hours and then you may not play again for a few weeks, as opposed to something like a Valheim or a Enshrouded or, like you say, Rust, where you would be playing a lot more. I guess, would it come down to your original answer of it's what the people want in the Discord, really, at the end of the day?
Yeah, generally, like, because like people will also, I divide games in general by the multiplayer experiences by, so there's like games with integrated multiplayer experience, and League of Legends, StarCraft, things like that, where you have a lobby, and the server infrastructure is usually delivered by the game producers, right? And then there are games which are typically on the independent side, so that's your Valheim, Factorial, and games like that. And they don't have. Some of them might have now like decent enough size to deliver multiplayer experience, but they usually also started with a just dedicated server and suggestion that you can get a PC box and run a server on it, but most people don't, so they buy the hosting, and this is just yet another optimization on the buy the hosting kind of thing. Yeah.
Cool. Anything else, boys? I know, Matt, you had like 10 million questions. Feel free to ask the man a couple more that tickle your fancy.
Yeah, I'll just take a week to get through these, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Part one.
Yeah, part one. That's it. So one of them was probably reaches out from what Trev was saying there. Is there any games that you'd like to add to your servers in the future, or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't have good answer. There was something like the 7 Days to Die. People were. I have.
That's a good game.
Yeah, I have a short list of games that people were suggesting to me. But then there's also like, I have a day job for 4 days a week, and I have other things. So it's also kind of like in between there. The goal is to be annoying in Discord. And if you have a game that you want,
awesome. I can be very
start
annoying.
being annoying. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
We kind of understand that, because at one point we actually had 3 different podcasts running. And there was so much to do, we didn't have a life anymore, so we had to start going. Let's just like concentrate on our main one, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So I get it. You got to have some kind of relative life or whatever.
What else have you got, Mr. Matt?
Another one is mostly to do with security technical features. So to do with backup systems. Snapshotting and what you use to help with DDoS protection.
DDoS protection, that's a good shout, mate.
So whether it's built-in security or you have your own independent security that you use.
I carried, I've heard your question, but I didn't. When I heard the DDoS, so like DDoS, like I buy hardware from cloud providers, so they provide certain securities, etc. But like GameHole in general, by design, even if somebody like has your server, your IP address, just because like you can stop it and start it, and it will start on a new IP address. The DNS, so the thing that you input, will stay the same. But it's kind of pointless to chase the servers that are going up and down. So like DDoS is dangerous in terms of like websites that are websites or hosts on the internet that are always there. But if you just play for 2 hours, 3 hours, how unlucky you would have to be to actually be part of an attack that would have to be scoped, etc. Plus, cloud providers are kind of defending against the general practices of like scouting and trying to do weird stuff with the host. So, like by design, it's more defensive against DDoS than a regular server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
Good.
I was thinking if you, and I hope this does happen to you, if you expand and you get many more people interested and you want to make it bigger or whatever, can you scale up easily if that happens or?
Yeah, decently, I think. Like, right. I don't want to give out the number of my numbers.
No, you don't have to give out anything you don't want. I just no. I was just curious.
I'm thinking which numbers I can I can give. Yeah, but generally, I'm not tied to any agreement or quota. So, like, if I scale up, my cloud provider probably is sufficiently larger to handle more. Not probably. I'm like fairly sure. Yeah.
Nice. Would you like to do this as a full-time job potentially down the line? I mean, it's a hobby, it's an interest, so I'd like to think it's like your baby and you would like to do it full-time maybe.
There's like, it's priced nicely. So with priced nicely comes the fact that it's like not generating a lot of revenue. I like it's not generating any revenue. Like any revenue that I have, I just usually pour it into ads or some other ways of promotion. So yeah, eventually it would be cool to just be running this. Like normally I work in fintech and I'm looking at the numbers all day so that like the taxes are done properly for very, very rich people. So like when your life's purpose from 9 to 5 is optimizing somebody who's very rich and optimizing his wallet by 0.3%, and this is like spawns the entire industry, then it's like kind of I don't have anything against that, but it's here like it's just a different feeling. Like here, if you help somebody and fix something, you have kind of like direct relation with that customer, and it's pretty great. Like people sending me emails that they had a fun Christmas because they could play with the family Valheim. It's pretty great. It gets you going. You don't have to earn nice. Almost, almost quite as much as you would if you were just doing taxes for some large enterprise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun if you can get a personal satisfaction out of it. And like you mentioned with the person that played at Christmas time, that makes a lot of sense because they don't have that kind of time, so they just want to come on and play and then be done, and so forth. And your prices are really good. You probably can even stand to raise your prices some, but they're really, really good. So I don't see where anybody could argue. Have you had any problems or typical problems, I guess, with latency or maybe things kind of stuttering out on you or anything like that?
Okay, I will get again into technicalities. Generally, yes, but a lot of the stuff, like there was a lot of stuff, especially in Enshrouded. Some of it was also in Pearl World, and people are complaining about, like doing some complaining about latency. But then when you check, it's actually a lot of the times it's the game server that's just misbehaving and not utilizing the resources, and it appears as lags, but these very often are not lags. So like hardware wise or network wise, I think like that there were some outages in the 3 years, probably 10 hours like overall outages.
Pretty
Nice.
good.
Yeah, but latency, I usually heard it, like somebody was suggesting an issue with latency, and whenever I investigated, it was usually something else. Either the game was misbehaving or somebody was behind, like a university firewall. Once I was debugging some Korean guy who was in university and he couldn't connect. It was weird until we've reached that, like, okay, so you're on university network, so that's like pretty much maybe the reason, right, why you cannot
Students.
connect. Yeah.
University
Students
network's like
playing
one.
games.
Yeah, it's like one guy with a computer turned on.
Yeah, I was like, you should be studying, my friends, not connected to play games. But yeah.
Matt, you have any other questions out of your
Yeah,
list you want to ask?
that leads on to another good one, which is how do you handle customer support and troubleshooting?
Discord.
So,
But you
yeah,
can send
so
an
just-
email. Yeah.
Yeah,
But Discord is just really good for it. Like
it's very handy. Yeah.
that's back and forth, etc. I also do email, but email I maybe check once a day, and I usually don't have to check once a day because like it's much slower. Like once a week would probably suffice, but yeah, still.
Yeah. Nice.
Why don't
handy.
you give out your Discord in case somebody wants to join and ask
Yeah.
questions and whatnot?
It's on the website, on the gameho.io website. I don't
like
have a
it, I like
fancy.
it.
I don't have the fancy link like you. I was just like I wanted to ask how you got that link, but you probably have to pay for Discord, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
level 2 or 3, is it, Gray?
It wasn't real expensive, but you have to pay.
It's level 3.
I believe it's a Nitro, if I remember correct, for the server. So in other words, you're buying Nitro for the server. You have to have a certain amount of
14 boosts, which is level 3. It's the top one.
Yeah, you got to get to level 3, so you need at least 14. You know,
It's ultimately,
supports.
Marek, it's not worth it. We are just have OCD and we get a good deal and it looks shiny and we have the banner up there. You don't need it, but it's the only way to get a static URL.
It's marketing more than anything, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't like. I will check the price. I will check the price if the price is good because I just noticed that you had this link, and it's the first time I noticed that like you can have a static Discord link,
Well,
and yeah.
If you want, Marek, DM me on the side, and I will help you with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you know, at least give you the information so that you can do whatever.
It is worth also noting really quickly that other people in your server can actually boost the server. If you're a Nitro member individually, so there's individual Nitro and there's server Nitro. If you're an individual Nitro member, you get 2 free or included server boosts per month. And you can nicely ask, coax, threaten, whatever, all the above, your guys on your server to use their 2. And that will get you to maybe level 3 or close.
I will clip that part, and it will land in my
You're welcome,
Discord.
my friend. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And
When I edit the show, I'll give you the things.
I liked his advertising though, Gray. Like, if you want to do the Discord, you go to my website. So he's smart. This guy, he knows his marketing. Go to the website and you check out the Discord 2 for 1. I like it.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any other questions before we move on, guys?
No, it's been a good chat.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to say, Marek? I know you're going to hang out, but you want to say anything else about the service or anything that you want?
No, I'm not going to do like long plugs or whatever. Gameho.io. It's cheaper. You just pay per hour. Yeah, that's it.
Nice. Nice.
And Marek, I'll speak to you on the Discord personally. So there you go.
Do you? Oh, yeah. There's one really important question none of us actually asked. Do you have your cloud service providers? Do they have servers around the world for people connecting in, like the main locations? Not everywhere, but the main locations.
Yes, US West, US East, and Europe, Germany. I have the option to go Asia, but Asia is more expensive, and I want to have the pricing clean and not have pricing for Asians because it's like it just doesn't. it doesn't look good when I have, okay, here's a nice price and here's a price for
Yeah,
for people in Asia. Yeah.
And then you don't need those kind of headaches. And everybody says, "Well, why am I paying so much if they're not paying so much?" I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Grey Gamer, what's why are we in this weird orientation
What
of
orientation?
Horizon? I just see a row of us rather than 1, 2, 3, 4. I see a
Oh, do
row
you?
of people.
I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know what you're looking at.
Wow, it's because
I've got a whole
I'm on a
cube thing.
laptop screen. Well, I'm on a
Probably.
laptop screen. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, not 1, 2, 3, 4, like a box.
Hit the
You can
hit the
change the
maximize
layout.
button.
Yeah, if you go to
Oh, that's
layout,
right.
you can have speaker, grid, or split.
Yeah, if
There
you
we
go on the tab on the bottom, it'll say layout. You can change the layout the way you want. But the
Cool,
recording is what done the 4.
Good,
like
good,
it's supposed
good,
to.
good.
Yeah. Sorry about the tech talk there, Mark.
No
Yeah,
worries, no worries.
TikTok.
All right, like I said, you're welcome to stay as little or as long as you like. We're gonna go ahead and move on, but I really appreciate you being guest and GameHo. That's HO at the end .io. Check it out, and if you see a game that you or want a game, I should say, that you don't see on the list, talk to Merrick, and if it's possible, maybe he'll do something. Otherwise, he's got some really good games in there. I can tell you right now, we would, off the top of my head, we would do Valheim, we would do Enshrouded for sure, right there.
Yeah.
You know, let alone any of the others. So that's a no-brainer.
Games. It's passion. It's life. It's time for game news.
All right, so we're going to move on a little bit, talk about some games. We started the game showcase special last week. It was impossible to fit in everything. So we're trying to see if we can cover some of the Xbox games that were coming out. And guys, if you want, the very bottom of the notes has all the games. I did see most of the trailers on some of this. So it was pretty interesting. I kind of going through the list and figuring out, like, games that we were looking forward to, other games that I'm wondering why they bothered, but that's another story. I think the one that people were looking is that Outer Worlds, or is it Outer? Is that correct?
Yeah, Outer Worlds.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I played some of Outer Worlds 1. I did enjoy it, and those are some of the original people that did the original Fallout. That were work at Obsidian, and it was not bad at all. I did enjoy it. I had heard something about another one coming out because they have done DLC and stuff, and I don't know if you guys saw the trailer, but it looked kind of cool.
$80, Gray. $80. That's another game, even though it's in Game Pass. $80.
Well, yeah, but you know what? It's going to be $70, $80 no matter what. So I'm trying to avoid getting nuts about the price, but we will, of course.
Yeah.
In fact, I had just seen in our Discord, I posted that the Borderlands 4, and I put 2 little arrows, and I said no, and I put 2 arrows down. There's $70 US dollars.
Decent.
I'm like, kills me every time I see this, man. It just kills me. I'm sitting there going like, oh my god, I'm just.
Well, 4 years ago, we would have been absolutely, well, not delighted, would be okay. Actually, no, 4 years ago, we would have been upset. It was $70 for a game. Now we're actually happy, because there was a whole thing about Borderlands 4 online. The CEO of Take-Two came out and actually went, no, this game. I mean, what's the CEO of a company like that on social media talking about trying to defend the pricing? Everyone was like, that's going to be an $80 game, and he goes on to Twitter and is like, actually, it's $70. But that's the stage we've got to with gaming pricing right now, that we're actually, it's a victory if it's $70, £60. So
I know I was almost shocked that it was 70, even though I know I don't want to pay that much either. But when I looked at it, I go like, oh, they're giving us a $10 break. Woo!
thank you.
Put that back in your pocket. Get some milk.
Well, if they're going to charge so much money, though, why don't they do more promos? Like, 10% off, if whatever, 20% off of the, like, as much as Ubisoft has had problems and stuff like that, different things that I've done on Ubisoft, they award you X amount of points. Now, I know it takes a little time for the points to build up, but what happened this recently for me was that I was approaching the end of my year pass on Ubisoft Plus, which is really a gift. So I had to decide, do I want to pay, God, what is it, $150 or something for a year? And I'm going like, not really. But I'd already started Assassin's Creed Shadows, so I was going like, oh crap. So then I looked at it. Luckily, they were running a 20% off sale, and then my points gave me another 20% off. So it was worth buying the game, so
What-
that now I don't have to worry about it.
What are their points called, by the way? Their points, is it like is it quadruple A coins or something? Is that what
No,
they're
I
called?
think it's just like
That'll dig there.
It's U points, isn't it? Yeah.
U points, a little
that's it.
yellow
And
circle
they expire,
thing.
and you have to use them within like a year or something, or you lose them all, or you lose a percentage.
No. As far as I understand, I know there's no expiration because I've had some of them forever, but I just didn't amass them. See, the thing is, you have to buy stuff from Ubisoft to get the points. So whether
So you don't get any for playing games or missions and challenges. See, that's crap.
But
Come
see,
on,
I've
man.
done DLC. I've done other little packs of things that maybe I really wanted. So over time, it's accumulated. I didn't know I had a 20% discount until I looked at it, and I just go like, oh hell, that's pretty good. I think
So
you have to have 100
off.
points.
Nice.
Well, they were running a sale at 20% off, so then my points added another 20%.
Yeah, total of 40%
So 40.
off. It makes it decent. So what
That
did
does sound a
you?
bit better.
So what? 40% of 150.
Well, the
so
game was
what, like $60
it.
off or something.
I ended up getting the game for $42.
Oh, so that's was the season pass thing I'm talking about. Not the season pass, the year-long pass.
Oh, the year long. The Ubisoft
Uplay.
Plus is around. No, I think it's even more now. I think it's if you're starting from scratch, I think it's 180 now.
They don't have enough games to warrant that. They don't have enough games in their collection. They're not like a Xbox or a Sony or something, you know.
On top of that, I already own Division 2, which I like a lot, so I don't need the pass for that. Now I also own a couple, the other Assassin's Creed, so I don't need the pass.
Did you buy the DLC for Division 2? You should get a discount off that as a member.
I did that right away.
Yeah, I bought it. I bought it as well,
one.
Gray. I've got it as well, by the way, and I'll play that with you. But you as a Uplay member, or whatever they're called, you should get a small discount off of that. See, as one of the member privilege things, I would say, yeah, you get 5% off or 10% off for being a member.
Well,
but I don't think you do.
What did you pay for it?
No, I just paid the flat rate. I think it's something like $13.50 in the
that makes
UK,
sense.
and CD Keys had it really cheap. But
Yeah.
I think they sold out, so I paid like another website like £11 or something. It was reasonable, but it's not a massive bit of DLC. But my point is, you being the part of the Billy Big Balls tier, you should get a discount off it, like a 5 or 10% off that DLC.
Just remind them you have shares in the company.
Well, they ain't worth much now, so I can't. And later in the show,
in the company?
No, later in the show, I'm going to put an article that I thought that was rather shocking about Ubisoft. We'll get to that. So yeah, you think they're in trouble now? They're in a lot more trouble after I saw that article. It's like, oh my god. Anyway, let's go on some of the games.
At the end of the day, you might do.
Yeah. High on Life 2. That I didn't expect them to have a sequel to that. I played it, maybe 20% of the game. I did enjoy it, just didn't have time. But that game is totally goofball. I mean, it's like your gun is actually a live creature.
Yeah.
That you're shooting with it.
That was funny. Yeah.
Can I give you a scenario, Gray? In fact, all of you. Doom, right? The series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the parody version of Doom? Instead of the BFG, you've got the High on Life gun, the Doom Slayer, and the High on Life gun itself. Can you imagine it? There's a crossover.
You know what? Maybe I can suggest that to the modding community.
Oh my god. Modding corner next week.
Here we go.
I got one of those coming up too. But anyway, let's see. A Plague Tale Legacy. I know some people like Plague Tale, but I can't get into it. I don't know.
I can't either. It looks stunning. It looks gorgeous,
look
those
good.
games, but I just don't like them either, man. I don't know what it is.
To me, it's like, and again, I'm not knocking it. A lot of people like it. There's the same reason I don't play what's that other one? Segua Hellblade, whatever.
Oh,
because that was lovely, but it was slow. It was too slow for me.
It was a movie. It wasn't a video game. I keep saying this every time.
Yeah.
The problem is, it's kind of. I think I've said this before, but when I play a game, I don't really want to play a game that's based mostly on real life. I want to play a game that's totally whatever out there, right?
So you don't want to play Trump Simulator then, or something?
No, hell no. Well, that might be fun, actually.
Political simulator.
So anyway, moving along, I'm not going to get all these. We'll kind of skip over some of them. Blood of the Dawnwalker. That looked good. That's a vampire game.
Yeah.
And basically it's almost kind of like Blade in a way from Marvel, but they're going on the premise that once every 100 years or something like that, a vampire is born that can walk in the light, basically. So that's kind of the premise for the story. And then this Dawnwalker is going after like the worst dregs of the vampire world.
It's exactly Blade.
Yeah, I guess. But the thing is, you know what? Blade doesn't have a game, but this one does. So
Or
I'll
a
play
movie.
that.
He used to
Or a
he had
movie.
a game
That's a
years
rant
ago.
from another day.
Yeah.
We're lucky we saw him in the Deadpool movie for a brief cameo, which was kind of cool.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
and
There's
stuff.
only one
I mean-
Blade. There can only ever be one Blade. Yeah, you tell him, Snipes. That was great.
Yeah, and the problem is if they ever do want to do one, Snipes ain't getting any younger, so you got to do it soon or don't even bother.
No, yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter because they'll do he'll sell the rights to his face and then they'll CGI him the whole
He's a
AI
daywalker. He
the
can't
whole
die.
way. Really good. Anyway, Merrick, you jump in whenever you want. If any of these games you play, just raise your hand and we still won't talk to you. No, only kidding. We'll get a hold of you. We'll get to you. Super Meat Boy 3D. I just love the name. I don't really care about the game, to be honest with you, but I thought the name was just wonderful.
I played the original, the Super Meat Boy, the 2D version, so I'm gonna check it out. It was it was very like fun gore. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
Fun,
Sure.
enjoyable gore that's still like delivering as a platformer. Yeah.
Remember when Mortal Kombat first came out and like all the parents out there were going like, "Oh my God, they're tearing spines out of it," and look now, it's like it's taking it to another level.
Hot game, man. Toasty.
There's another one out there. I saw a brief trailer on was Invincible Versus. And it's like the characters from Invincible, which are already probably over the top violent, is in this game, and they're fighting, whatever other heroes or whatever. Oh my Lord, they're sitting there, blood is splattering everywhere. Pieces of stuff is just going every direction. I'm like, whoa, man, this is like pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Ninja Gaiden 4. I don't play the game, but it looked good, and there are fans of that game, so they're like going gaga that this is coming out.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you want to check out any of these game trailers, you should pop over to YouTube. They have them all, obviously. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. The DLC is called The Order of the Giants, which could actually be the name of another game at that rate. But I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. The trailer looked really good. And I'm hearing that the DLC is a decent length and stuff.
As we said previously, if you recall, boys, that game is one of the few games that gets to use the EdTech 8 engine. The engine that we Marek, we can get a bit geeky on this, like in terms of we talk about games, we also talk about hardware and geeky stuff as well. It's for some people, it will put other people to sleep, but we love that stuff, and we are massive fans of the Doom game, especially Gray and I, and we love everything they do with their engine, and we always wondered why they didn't give their engine out or lease their engine out like Epic do with their Unreal Engine. And it's because their engines were literally custom built for their games. But because of Machine Games are part of the bigger, wider company, under Bethesda, aren't they? Then they get to borrow the engine and add bits on to the engine for their game. So it looks stunning and it runs really, really well. I'd love to see more games use that engine.
I think they should all use that engine. That thing, like we've said before, the optimization is just out of this world.
But Greg, did you watch the documentary? Well, not documentary, the kind of in-depth one with the devs and stuff. The Doom guys.
I haven't finished.
Yeah. They, as I said to you, the reason they don't, that was you and I were doing the pod ourselves that week, and they would love to use, other people would love to use their engine, but as I was saying before, it's literally each game. That's why there's EdTech 1, 2, all the way up to 8. And when the new Doom game comes out, they'll build on top of that. Someone that took their engine, their game wouldn't probably run very well. They'd have to add elements onto the engine and start customizing it quite a lot. Whereas Unreal's supposed to be air brackets, for those listening, user friendly for the guys that just want to make a game and start customizing things, building worlds and whatnot. If only, mate, but it's not that simple.
Hey, look, if id Tech keep putting out Doom games as good as they've been, I don't care. That's fine. Just keep the engine and keep pumping those games out. That's fine with me.
I think I think that
go ahead,
Unreal
sorry.
is still not the Unreal is not the easy engine. Like the
No,
easy
it's
engine,
not.
yeah, usually is Unity. Unreal is something like competing with stuff like ID, etc., but like released to the big companies so they can do games.
Why do I probably agree with you on that one, Mick? You'll probably know more about it than I will. I believe some game companies, game devs, actually move across to Unreal for for its ease of use. For example, Halo, they had their own engine, didn't they? And they actually moved across to Unreal because trying to get people in to learn their engine to then make the game, it wasn't working very well. But if they moved to Unreal, more people have that in their CV, did they not? You know
Yeah,
about
I
that more than
think
I will.
so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That you can get more experienced people easily if you have a like proprietary in-house engine. Like nobody knows it, but Unreal
Nobody has.
probably a
Yeah,
lot of
they
people.
can't work it.
I love Unity as well, though. I do. That's what Rust runs on, and I'm a massive fan of that engine as well. But let's not have a little dig at they really messed up on pricing a little while ago. Remember, was it last year? And they were going to start charging people a whole lot of money, and they went, "Oh, we're really sorry, we're backtracking." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Whoops." Little dig.
You get
that's terrible.
Ubisoft uses Snowdrop. Snowdrop's is a nice engine. That
Beautiful.
Division 2 has held up for a very long time on that engine, and it
Oh,
still
great.
looks great.
Let's not talk too much about the creation engine, Bethesda.
Crytek.
That's a pile of
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
Well, I only think I think Unreal is because it's so widely. It's free, right? You get it from Epic.
up to a
yeah, it's
certain
free.
level.
Up to a point,
Once you
I know,
sell,
I know.
is it a million copies, you start paying for it or something?
Yeah, that's right.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, when you hit those
But I
big
mean,
massive numbers.
so I got to give them credit, regardless of how hard it may or may not be to use. That they have single handedly been able to hand this over to a lot of people that have improved their games, which is great. That's wonderful. I would like to see other ones though. There's people out there that like America
more
saying too,
assets are needed.
Yeah, they did right. They're building their own stuff because they find it's easier to have something different.
Yeah.
And stuff. So I can't knock that either.
Cool.
We'll skip over to Grounded 2. Did you guys ever play the first one, Grounded?
Yes,
No.
yeah. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Love it. That's why I
Simulator.
played it. Yeah, it was brilliant. It's a nice co-op game, actually. It's really nice. It's fun. Unless you like,
I
unless
played
you don't like
maybe,
spiders.
I didn't finish it, of course, but I played 30-40%. And I did like it. I just didn't know whether it was, you would know better, Matt, because you played more of it, but I didn't know if it really warranted a second one. I mean,
Well, they
I'm
only
trying to think
just
how much more can
fairly
you
released
do?
it, didn't they? The first
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be quite interesting what they had. Probably, I don't know, new grounds, new creatures. So yeah.
I mean, the trailer looked good. I mean, for what it was. I guess I'm just more on the line of let's see something new, or a little more different, I suppose.
Instead of the backyard, it's the front yard.
Wow. Mind blowing.
We'll let them loose on some really really bad looking. No.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer on Chronos, the new Dawn? I don't know if you guys saw that. It looked pretty good.
I think I did, but I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I don't remember the whole thing right off the top of my head, but I do remember I really did like it. It was very interesting. So I might want to see where that one's going. Again, there is a lot of games out there that are doing the cut and paste things with the darks. I'm getting to the point where I'm so tired of hearing it's a Souls-like game. It's a Souls-like game. I said, oh my God, just stop already.
Yeah.
Just do something different. I mean, I don't want to hear it.
Great. Does your list have your list that you have there tell you what games are going to be in Game Pass or not as you go through them?
Actually, yeah, almost everything that's on this big list is going to be on Xbox, and many of them are all going to be day one.
What about Outer Worlds 2? That was the big one. I think that is in there, isn't it? Day one. Oh, yeah, day one. World premiere. That's all they kept saying.
World premiere, day one.
Smack. Yeah.
Hey, look, man, they weren't doing anything like that a couple of years ago, and now all of a sudden, everything they're putting out is day one. I'm going like, great, man, because
Listen, that could be a special at some point in the future. I think Xbox Game Pass, especially for the PC gamers, is fantastic
yeah.
value, and I've got it backdated. I used that little trick to backdate it to like 2027 or 2028. So I think it's great value, although I think there are rumors that they're going to put the price up soon. So
I
watch
guess
this
that,
space.
it's well
If it
worth
does,
the
I'm
money,
blaming
right?
you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
we had this guy.
See you.
He was in Turkey. No, wait a minute. He's in England. No, wait a minute. He's in. No, wait a minute.
Ah,
He's everywhere.
VPN. VPN.
I
You call
think,
me VPN Trev. It's a lot easier for using
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
yeah, why not? People do it. I mean,
Yeah.
VPN's there, right? Yeah.
Nord, if you wanted somebody.
Yeah,
There we
listen,
go.
Nord, if you
Yeah.
want to sponsor us, that's absolutely fine. I believe in your service. I'm not just saying that. I believe in it.
I know it's funny. You see Nord popping up, and a bunch of different YouTubers come out
Yeah.
there. I want to talk about a
Woo-hoo.
sponsor, Nord. And I was like, surprise.
Yeah, and can you imagine me trying to sell it? This is generally what I done to get things a lot cheaper. This generally happened. I'm not just saying that as a party piece.
Yeah,
Bye-bye sponsorship.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
Well, going back to Game Pass, it's still worth the money, and depending if they do
Yeah,
raise the
it is.
prices and they don't get crazy about it, I would still probably pay it. But the other thing that's advantageous, at least to me anyway, is a lot of the credit card reward points that I get. A lot of them you can redeem for Game Pass gift cards. So what I do is I go ahead and I redeem the points, which essentially costs me no real cash, and I'll take out like $100 or whatever in Game Pass, and then I just redeem them, and boom, I'm good for another year.
You're lucky
whatever.
with that, Gray. You're lucky. I'm not saying we don't have the point system in Europe, but we don't have it nowhere near as good as you guys get. Like it seems to be like you just get your credit card out your wallet to look at it and you've gained points. And over in Europe, it's you'll get them, but you have to spend a lot more to actually get anything decent out of it. I don't bother.
We're getting off on a tangent, but that's okay. Oh, by the way, I've always wanted to play this. Let's see if it comes out.
The Extreme Gaming Podcast. Tangents are our business.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you,
the
Dave.
cheese, man.
That's Epic
How long
Dave,
have you
by the
been
way,
waiting for
Merrick.
that?
Yeah.
Merrick, he's our fifth member that pops up once in a while.
Yeah.
What's his name? Has he got a name? Billy Big
The
Balls?
face-
Yeah, Epic Dave.
Yeah.
Epic Dave.
Big Dave, Epic Dave, right, okay.
Anyway, so now I'm gonna forget what I was gonna say. Senior moment time. No, I think the deals that they offer on Xbox are so much better than what they do at Ubisoft. On top of that, I think it's more accessible. They sell the cards everywhere. When's the last time you saw Ubisoft sell a game, a gift card? I don't see any Ubisoft gift cards anywhere in the stores around me. You could just pick the Xbox gift cards right off the shelf. I mean, no problem.
And
So
Steam as well. Steam's another one.
So
PlayStation.
yeah, exactly. I see those too. So that I don't understand if Ubisoft is trying to get themselves going again. Why don't they just?
But they're not. They have their own platform, but it's nowhere
You're
near
not
as
talking
big
about
as the other ones.
Ubisoft again, are you? Good crikeys.
Well, no one's going to buy them now because they make 3
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
So it's
I
like
deleted that.
I
And
don't know
enough of that.
What? Did you say something?
Yeah.
Here's another thing coming up. Elder Scrolls Online is new. I guess you call it a DLC, but it's live service, right? Tales of Tamriel.
New content.
New content. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I love Elder Scrolls, but when I played when they went online right away.
Same,
and I kept going for about a year, and then I got bored crapless, and I just said, nah.
Is that the exclusive online game that I remember Comic playing once and going into a nightclub in the game and like dancing with other guys or something? Was that the same guy?
I don't know about that.
Same game?
I think it was a different one. I don't think it was Skyrim.
Oh, was it no Final Fantasy?
That was
It was Final Fantasy
yeah.
14. That was I'm getting mixed up. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You might as well do that in that one. That'd be more interesting.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll skip over a couple of these other ones. Age of Mythology Retold is coming, and the DLC, I guess, is Heavenly Spear. And I saw a trailer on that. It looked pretty good. This is an Age of Mythology that we have played years ago. They've done the remake before, already, and it enhances. And apparently, I guess it did so well that they're making a DLC that they've never done before for
DLC. Okay.
apparently. So I don't know if that's a first, making a DLC of an old game. I mean, yes, it's been remade, but
Makes sense, doesn't it? I wish more people would do that. Why do you? Well, if it's doing so well and it's been supported again and played, then why not? Like the default is to let's make a new game. Yeah, but your new game might not be as successful as your old game that's now interesting again. Let's bring out some DLC for that. That's a good idea, Gray. More people should do
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
well, we've been saying that, right? You if you have a good IP, why don't you do the remakes of something that really needs to be remade?
Yeah.
Except like we argued before, if you're going to make a bunch of money on it, which you are, then keep the prices of the new games down. But of course, they don't listen to that.
No.
There was another trailer I watched called "There Are No Ghosts at the Grand." This looked very weird. It was a game that these people are in this hotel. It's almost kind of like
Oh yeah, that's weird. That was
it
an
was
acid
very
trip,
weird,
that.
but it was cool. I like being challenged about something that it was different. It looked bizarre. All these things happen at this hotel, and you've got to figure out like why. It's almost kind of like taking Clue and kind of putting a twist on it and stuff. I guess in a way, but I don't know much more about the game. A lot of these games, by the way, are mostly coming out either at the end of the year, beginning of next, or by summer of next. So.
That's
it's gonna take a
okay.
little,
Like we've said, a year.
yeah.
Don't tell us any more than a year out a game's coming. Otherwise, what's the point? So
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
For you fans out there of Fallout 76 is going to have yet another DLC called Gone Fishing. Get it? Fishing?
We covered that last week.
Yeah, next.
Next.
Let's actually cut some out.
Great can't remember.
Yeah.
Great can't remember that.
Yeah. Which ones are we actually going to skip?
It was funny though the way you said it. Yeah. Skip. Like I'm not looking forward to that one.
It's free.
Sea of Thieves is going to have new content called Smuggler's Tide.
Yeah.
That game keeps on rolling. We talked about Invincible Versus. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. And I'm going like I'm losing track of what's a remake and what's I don't even.
It's all going to be a blur now.
Yeah, exactly. But I can't knock it if that's what they're doing. The biggest announcement probably and I was actually surprised, was Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
Oh yeah.
I swear they just did Black Ops 6 and we've been playing it off and on. And now all of a sudden there's a 7? I'm like,
I don't really know how they're going to work that because it's Treyarch's baby, and there's no way Treyarch can turn out another game in a year. So unless it's one of the other Activision studios that are making it, with them helping out, because you've got Sledgehammer, you've got Treyarch. Oh, who's the other one? If anyone knows it, there's a third studio. I know Raven help out, but there's a third main studio that actually does work on it, and Treyarch go in and help them from time to time. We know Treyarch make the best COD games. They really do, boys, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion. They were the guys that started the zombie stuff, which I love the most. That trailer was weird because it didn't look like a COD trailer to start with.
Yeah.
And you saw no gameplay. It was just a teaser.
Yeah. So, it's kind of like Cold War. If you watch that, the weird mind gamey thing where you have that broken world. Yeah, and set in the future as well. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I know I'm going to play it. It's something I have to.
You saw the basic version of the hologram, didn't you? Or the holodeck.
Yeah.
That was the first version. The lady in there with like the 4 beams on a square, like focusing in the middle. I was like, there's the start of Star Trek's. We're Star Trek fans as well, Marek. So you can't. The geek level is just going up and up and up.
Yeah, we'll get off on sci-fi.
There's the
red lady
of,
from
the holodeck.
Evil. Yeah.
The red lady.
Red lady.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's only 9 foot tall or something, right? I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Pretty tall. She's pretty tall. I heard a rumor. I don't know how true this is. It's just a rumor. But I heard the reason they're coming out Black Ops 7 so quickly is they're using apparently some unused assets from 6.
That's my question.
Yeah, because now I'm trying to think, how can that be that fast, man, and get that much stuff? I know they work fast because they make gazillions of dollars on those games. I get it. But this is still too fast. And I'm sitting there going, so I heard, there's stuff that we haven't seen that they could have put in 6, but 6 was already big enough.
Yeah.
and they just took those and built upon them, and now 7 will be
Ray,
coming.
they also take turnabout. Like the 3 studios I mentioned, the one including the one that I can't remember the name of. They take turn Infinity Ward. That's it. Infinity Ward. There's the other one.
Yeah.
They take turnabout. So every 3 years they're expected to put a game out, which is
Mm.
still a massive turnaround. But because they all use the same engine and borrow the same some of the same assets, they can turn them out. They have a big enough studio, enough money behind them to do that. And then Raven are, sorry if anyone works at Raven, but they're kind of like the COD bitches a little bit. They kind of they jump up and they just help out every year with whatever job needs done. I mean, they do a great job. I used to know someone that worked at Raven, and that was their job. So listen, it's everyone was going,
Hey.
oh, sigh, but they make a lot of money. COD is
Mhm.
successful
You
every
need
year.
a fix-it crew. You need a fix-it crew to fix everybody else's mistakes. So they come in
Yeah.
and they just fine-tune everybody and say,
Yeah.
okay.
Right now,
It's
also,
okay now.
I think like the asset creation might be
Yeah.
faster due to AI and all this other stuff. Like you can like
Yes.
you can half bite the hype of the like general machine god or whatever people are telling, but like in asset creation and like optimizing those low level this low level production, I think that might be also the reason that they are doing it faster.
Makes sense. It does.
Well, as AI
Yeah.
gets better, you're going to be able to make assets so much faster.
Oh yeah.
Which then leads you to the same question. They go, we'll be able to put a game out in a year. Good, then lower the price. Yeah.
Yeah. If AI is doing it, then give the AI a raise. Then if you're going to charge that kind of money.
Give AI the raise.
Yeah. Yeah. It does all the work. Why not? Yeah.
Thank you for
Just
giving me a raise.
Just please, the caveat is you don't take over the world and enslave humanity. If we're going to give you
Sure.
a pay rise, please.
Just remember who says please to AI. Okay.
They're the
Yeah,
guys
right.
that
And thank
they're the guys
That's
that are on
it.
the good side of AI. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying please do it while they have an AI Assassin's Creed guy behind you.
Yeah. And sweating.
Oh
yeah,
no.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting if AI is it. They do use AI, but to create new stuff, new assets, new buildings, new
It will.
things. Because you see it like in Unity, you've all got the same, or at least a lot of assets
But-
that are just reused to hell.
Matt, as long as they're
Yeah.
transparent that they do that,
Mhm,
like
yeah.
there's always a caveat. We created some things with AI. You're better doing that than plagiarizing and stealing someone else's content.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bungie. Oh, whoops! I said it. I went there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, you didn't say
Ooh.
Bungie, did you? No.
Bungie. Yeah.
Bungie?
Bungie.
Stealing.
Isn't that a bird?
Another,
Oh, that's
another-
Budgie. That's Budgie. Yeah.
Bungie. You're missing out the end there, guys.
Buggy.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Look, we know it's going to happen. There's a new engine out there, another new one, AI engine. I know it's not AI Corner, but I got to talk about it. It's called VO3. I think it's VEO3,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been like a revolution in text to video, not just text to image, because they've been working on text to video. Text to video was only able to produce a video upon your prompt of a few seconds. Now, apparently, they're putting out at least a minute or more already. And so this one was the best I saw. It was they did a small clip of an old man, and he's talking about the sea, like the old man in the sea or something. So he's talking about the sea and whatever. And
Was
it was
that
last.
you, Gray? Was it you?
Yeah,
Perchance?
that was me. All right. They used me as a model, but But when I looked at it, I was going like, wow, this thing looks cinematic. I mean, like they filmed it for real and put it in a movie. There was like no problems going on at all. I was looking for artifacting and other stuff happening. I wasn't seeing much of anything. And I'm just going like, damn, man, it's just like we said, it's moving so fast. Then there was this one where the prompt, they actually put the prompt to show you what they wrote. And, it wasn't a long prompt because they wanted to get the whole thing in. And they go, a feather is blowing in the wind and happens to pass by different things in the background. And you would see this feather and it looked real, just floating on, on the wind. And in the background, you see things, people, other stuff happening, people talking. And then the last thing was, and then it hits a spider web and gets stuck in it. And the whole thing looked beautiful. And it's just like, ooh, like this and stuck on the spider web. That was it. And I was just like, man, it's beyond like, wow.
Gray, that's becoming more of the norm now, actually, because like I said before, in my job, I try and specialize more in the Gemini stuff that we use, the AI, and there is text to video service. It's called Google Vids. Now,
Yeah.
it's nowhere near as in depth as what you just explained there, but you will get to the stage where all this stuff has been done, and it'll be generally, as we said before, Inception. We don't know what's kind of Matrix, which pill you take, and screw it, I'll take both of them because I'll never find out what's going on here. Why did not Neil take both at the same time, man? Can you imagine? Anyway, tangent. It makes I'm looking forward to where things are going, and I did not have a clue that there was an AI game engine out there. I mean, I was thinking as you before you said that it'd be cool if there's such a thing existed, and
People
you
are
just kind of said,
experimenting with just exactly that. So people are
brilliant.
using the like diffusion for images to like just render a game. I think they were doing it with Doom.
Oh, now you're talking our language.
Yeah, but it has expanded vastly. Initially, it was the Doom, so like they just made like a macro of going around the map and learning the model how
the old Doom, the original. I saw
how
that.
the original Doom looks,
Yeah.
and so it could recreate like the entire sort of game just from looking
Nice.
at it from different angles. But now they are actually like kind of using diffusing for just generating new worlds that you described in a prompt or with a reference, and you will have, instead of your GPU rendering, you will have a GPU rendering but over some like super complicated pipeline, right?
That's cool.
One of the things I read too that's happening a little bit more, and probably will happen a lot, is that a lot of the people, the stars and actors and so forth that are involved in either the movies and or video games of one kind or another, they just, from what I remember reading, they just settled on an agreement between their unions and AI companies, and using their looks or their voice or whatever in games or whatever it might be, because they deserve a residual or whatever. So they came to some kind of agreement. I don't know the particulars of everything, but they can now, for a price, sell their likeness and sell their voice forever. So there's a gentleman in the sports world over here, and maybe around the world. His name's Al Michaels, and Al Michaels is one of the most famous sports announcers for years and years and years. He just penned off a deal. I don't know what it costs. He got some good money. I don't remember. I have to look it up. But he just penned out his voice forever. So he's getting pretty old. So when he knocks off, his voice is still going to be around, narrating, little things here and there. And I'm like, wow, that's just
It's a good idea, Gray, for certain use cases like that. Like, imagine, I'll be devastated when David Attenborough kicks the bucket, and he's really old, man. He's in his 90s, but he's such an iconic documentary voice that when a documentary comes on that's not him, you're like, we want David, you're crap. But someone like him, his voice should be preserved because it's so famous.
Oh yeah, no, it has its merits for sure. I'm just glad that they settled on an agreement, because they deserve to either make whatever residuals, and or the agreement also covers estates, because if the person dies, the estate still needs to make whatever. So in the case of, like you said, I would love to see Attenborough narrating all these documentaries that we love, especially if God forbid, one day when he goes, we could still have his voice live on in some really good documentaries.
What
about
yours, Gray? What about your voice, Gray? We should.
Well, I got so many of these podcasts right now. we're
all AI. We need to train AI to get a great gamer, because I need someone to be on when
you can already do that. I think, just gather your content, and the voice you can sample, I think, fairly quickly.
Oh, I do it. Yeah, I have a subscription to 11 Labs. It's very cheap. And I've been able to clone. You remember when Epic Dave just did that little bit that I played, and the guy at the beginning of the same Epic Dave did the open to the show? Yeah. Well, there was an announcer. He's passed away, but long ago he was known as the Epic trailer guy. I think it was Don LaFontaine is his name. Anyway, so I patterned his voice after that and kept on tweaking until I finally got it, and that is pretty much what he sounds like. And so I was so happy to actually get a voice that was very similar to his. So yeah, you know.
Yeah, we should do that for you, Gray, because when you pop your clogs many years from now, I'm still needing a co-host on with Matt and I and Tarl to keep it going. So yeah.
Well, the amazing thing with YouTube, like anything else, right? When we're all gone, these podcasts will just keep on going. They'll be like,
No, I mean for new content going forwards. You know?
Yeah.
There's a risk there, like with the David Attenborough, right? That you won't hear a new David Attenborough because, like, the old one that has left us is still occupying the same space of like the commentaries, etc. So the new one
Yeah.
will have to be either like top him somehow.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
well, one of the things
You
that
gotta
like
make
anything
space
else,
for her new. Yeah.
if
There's
you
nobody like
overuse,
right now waiting for like
Yeah.
I'm the next documentary speaker. Yeah.
it could also go like too far the other way. What if every documentary that comes out all has Attenborough's voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
there's nobody else. You're going like, all right, I'm tired of this guy already. Come on, let's see.
True, mate. True.
And here's the
You know,
king.
he does a good job as oh god, I'm trying to think the black actor. Can't remember him now. He's been doing a lot of documentaries lately, and he sounds great. Oh, Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, that
Morgan
voice, man.
He's
got a great voice. And
He's the
he-
American Attenborough, isn't he? He
Yeah.
is the American Attenborough.
So he's got a good voice. And there's a couple. Oh, you know, there's a guy, a comedian that does the
That narrows it
the
down.
Lego shows out here. I'm trying to remember the name of it. And I was astounded one day when I was watching the special. I think it was a documentary on penguins. It was really great. And then in the credits rolls by and it says that he was the narrator. And I'm going like, no way, because it just didn't sound. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. So I got to look this up. So I look it up and it was him. And I was shocked because he did a great job. No comedy going on or anything, but he just put the voice on and it was like, wow, man, that's crazy. You know, so they need to
Indeed.
get us in games. We need to narrate games, guys. I think it'd be a lot more interesting. And then we'll get Merrick to make a server for us, and then, you know, there we go, forever.
There we go.
Smash him. Yeah.
In a world where NVIDIA has gone mad, it's time for hardware and tech news.
Anyway, we'll let's move on. I think Matt, you're up next. You wanted to talk about some hardware tech news. Something about an Asus router attacking someone. What was it?
Absolutely, yeah. Asus has now got the what's it? It's come to life.
Sky Night router. Oh no.
Yeah. There we go. I've got my
It gets
notes
teeth
back to
and-
front to back. Yeah. So there's been an attack of the routers, especially Asus branded routers and models, and it's quite a lot of them. And guess what they call it?
Router.
It's been dubbed as a shush. Shh.
Oh, jeez.
Shh.
Oh god.
Oh.
Oh no.
A stealthy
Sometimes names are
and
good, but that one's kind of goofy. Come on.
That is,
That's
that
like-
is,
God.
yeah, a stealth and persistent botnet campaign. So there you go. Yeah, it's a large-scale cyber attack where thousands of devices of Asus routers have been compromised and turned into botnets. The attackers use these brute force login techniques and authentication bypass methods to gain access, exploiting a vulnerability. It's that bloody word again. Sturm Yorkshire now, known as CVE 2023-39780. This has allowed them to install a persistent backdoor that survives reboots and firmware updates. Yeah, so please go to their website. They have a whole list of which ones have been affected, and there's a lot of big numbers. Mine has.
If you notice your speed going down to almost nothing, give them a
Yeah,
call.
absolutely. Look at your logs, check what's new there. If it doesn't look right, side or right. That's it. Mash them up. Asus has acknowledged the issue and released firmware updates to patch the vulnerability. So if you do own an Asus router, it's highly recommended to
Not a lot.
update it. Change your default passwords. There you go, baby. Passwords to something a lot stronger and make it unique and at least a minimum of 15 characters. You know the deal. Just do it.
Instead of doing password 123, do password
yeah,
1098.
yeah, that's already
No
been
one will ever
taken.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, it was remember Gray's point recently about
Mhm.
how long it took for passwords to be cracked. The longer your password,
yeah.
the better you are.
We got a
Absolutely.
short on that, so go check our shorts because we have a
Absolutely.
whole thing on there.
Protect yourselves, people. Disable remote management if it's not on there. If it's already on there, if not, blah blah blah. Reboot your router periodically just to make sure it's a-okay. It's also part of the stealth operation to assemble a distributed network of compromised devices, potentially for super future cyber threat.
Super future.
Thank you. Woo! There we go. If you want to check out whether your router's been affected, go to their website. There you go.
Cool.
Yeah. So on the notice of that, there is scams in general. So pretty much this is just awareness for everybody out there that a lot of scammers, as AI generated scams going on from emails, texts, voice messages. So pretty much just be careful what you're clicking on. Hover that mouse over any links that you're unsure of. If you're unsure of, always contact that person directly. You know the numbers to your banks. Don't fall for no nonsense because your banks will not contact you. You contact them. And that works pretty much with everything. So please be wary of that. They are getting very clever. They're getting very houndy.
If you get a voice text,
gift cards. Fuck those gift cards.
No
Don't be doing none of that shit. Okay? There you go. Money. It's a lot better.
If you get a voice text and the voice sounds like David Attenborough, then you got to not believe that one.
That's fine.
Yeah, just kind of
that's
need to run on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so just be aware. Just be safe.
Well, dude, to be truthful, the with AI, moving along so fast, it's going to get scary as to how good the scams are going to get now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could do almost anything.
Great. Do you think future AI making a game would be able to make a sequel to one of my favorite all-time games?
Rust?
Which is called the
Crust.
other one. Genital jousting.
Oh yeah, sure.
Banana bashing is called.
All I'll say to Marek is just Google if you don't already know that game on Steam.
I'm already on it, yeah.
Oh,
He's
I bet you are. I bet you
are.
Marek knows what it's like to be and to lead the life of a Willy for one day. This game is hilarious. Like literally, you are a businessman. You wear a tie and a suit, and you take money out of ATMs, and you get paper cuts and stuff, and you shave. And I'm like, this is it's hilarious. Just try it, and you can play. I don't know if you can play co-op or not.
It looks
Yeah,
like
you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
It looks like Steven's Sausage Roll. I don't know if you played it. There's a puzzle game, Steven's Sausage Roll, where you're like trying to roll the sausage over like hot surface, but it's actually a puzzle game. Yeah.
And it sounds like a euphemism, but it's really not. It's really not. Anyway,
but to put a little story on this, Merrick, when Trev told me about genital jousting,
no one believed me.
Exactly, I'm sitting going, yeah, right.
Trevor, it's your dirty mind again. I'm like, well, I do have a dirty mind, yes, but it is actually a game.
Yeah.
So he sends
me
a link.
In Scotland stays in Scotland.
There you go. Yeah. He sends me a link, and I start playing the game, and I'm like, oh my god! I said, I can't believe this is real.
You were addicted to it, weren't you?
It was cute. The way they did it I was very surprised.
It's cute. I've never heard that word used for a game like that. Terrible. A cute Willy.
Yeah, there's a lot of balls everywhere. Baseball, basketball, all that kind of stuff.
So come and join the fun.
Yeah, anyway, to go from genital jousting to hardware and tech news.
Yeah.
Trev's got to follow that one. Go ahead, Trev.
Yeah, follow your genitals.
I can't beat that. But no one beats that, mate. I'm afraid it's more of
Except for yourself. Wait.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You're on form today, Matt. You are on form, my friend. Well done.
My Viagra.
So I like to piss you guys off. Sorry, keep you up to speed on all things Switch 2 because I know.
Not delete this. Hold on, let's delete this before he reads it.
I do it on purpose now just to wind you up. Sorry, I've opened the link now, Matt. You're screwed. I think I done it to start with, and now I just keep doing it because I know it annoys Matt. I put a little funny kind of tangent on this one. The obvious news that came out, or the big news that came out, should I say, was it's kind of blowing everything away in terms of how many units it sold. I've got one, having fun with it. It sold 3.5 million consoles in 4 days. Likely the biggest console launch of ever. It was the fastest selling console in the UK ever, although not the biggest selling. That's different. That was still the PlayStation 5, which, considering COVID was a thing, was very impressive. Now, we know we have scalpers and stuff out there. So a lot of these can be bought up at the very start, and it's hard. But part of the reason Nintendo put their launch back for such a long time, 6 months or so they could build up enough stock. So while it does sell out within a day or two, it's back in stock again. I managed to get one pre-ordered, and I went to midnight launch. I ended up with 2 in total. Sold the other one for like cost to not really make money off it.
Could have given it to
save
me.
I could have given it to you, yes, but I'm also not that rich, mate. If you said sold it to you at cost, that's different. But you didn't say that, so
I'll give you £2.
you know my nation, we're very tight, tighter than 2 coats of paint, Matt. So that's
how
never
they make
happening.
haggis.
That's a true story. So
Tighter than 2 coats of paint. I don't know if I've heard that one before. That's good. I like
tighter,
that.
or tighter than the duck's arsehole.
Okay.
If you think about it, Greg, you got to think about it, mate.
I don't want to go too far on that one.
No, please don't. Please
It
don't.
needs David Attenborough to explain it to him.
David Attenborough.
Otherwise, we'd have to do this.
Peggy 16.
Yeah,
Peggy?
or 18 more right. Actually, God, it's your own fault now for bringing this up. Because of the AI thing and using David Attenborough's voice, you've heard him narrate before cursing and swearing at random funny things online, and it's so funny to watch. He's like, this effing guy, and what's he effing thinking? I'm like, wow. Anyway, so yeah, they're selling a hell of a lot more units. But the funny side tangent in this one was, have you heard of Staplegate? That's what I'm dubbing it, right? So GameStop, for those that don't know, big game retailer shop in the States. Most people probably heard of them, but just in case, they were...
go there.
Do we not have them here?
No, we have Game, and they are shit because they're owned by Mike Ashley.
Oh, they're online, aren't they, as well?
In Ireland, they had GameStop. Like,
Ireland, we did,
was living in Ireland for a year or two, something like that.
You poor man. Did you meet Matt?
No.
Did you meet Matt? No.
I was in the line going...
Which part of Ireland you were in?
Dublin.
Oh, yeah, okay.
God.
It was Killarney or Cork. Yeah, so...
Everybody's from
the nice
Dublin.
bits.
Associate, yeah.
I know.
Even if you're not from Dublin, you go
It's
like,
not
where in
somewhere
Ireland
else.
are you from?
Yeah, I just say North Dublin and never goes there.
There you go.
Oh, fair enough. And that's why Matt moved out and he lives in London now.
Yeah. They kicked me out.
Yeah. So there was, and yeah, Game is no longer, they're shutting down their stores now, so it's just online.
We have
but
one
don't go to,
in, what's that sports centre?
no, but they're closing down now, mate, one by
Thank
one,
God.
so they'll eventually all be gone.
Yeah.
But it'll just be online
Well,
only.
technically, it was just a sign that says game. Nobody
Don't
ever
go-
was there. It was just
Don't go to
game
Game,
and
though.
boxes. No, don't.
Don't go
Sounds
to
like
Game.
over here. You guys probably heard of it. You remember Blockbuster Video from years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there was one Blockbuster Video in Alaska that was still open, and they just finally closed.
Oh,
Can you imagine? They're there that long.
They were
That's
selling
brilliant.
DVDs as well, though, to be fair, not just
There was a group of
VHSs.
Japanese soldiers that were fighting after the World War II ended, because they did like maybe the store in Alaska, they just didn't get like
Yeah, I
the
heard
memo.
that.
Yeah, they never knew, right? Yeah.
They just kept it open, yeah.
I think they did a
love
movie
that.
on that
The
one
last
too. Or
to know, eh?
something.
Yeah.
The war's
I love
over.
that.
It is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a massive tangent. Apologies.
You're on the Staplegate thing.
GameStop were when they were giving out the consoles at midnight, whether you pre-ordered or you queued up for one, they were literally giving you the games console in the box, and then instead of just giving you the receipt beside it, so for example, at Smith's Toy Store in the UK, so the one I went to at midnight, They gave me the console in a box and the receipt separately. Who would have thought, Or worst case scenario, if you have to attach them, use some tape. But no, some people, some GameStop employees, and not everyone in GameStop's the same. They were literally getting the receipt, putting it on the box, and stapling it. Now, not cheap.
No.
Really, it's not a massive deal because it's Nintendo's poor packing as well. So to give you an idea, when you lift the lid up of a Switch 2 box, or a Switch 1 box actually, directly underneath is the Switch 2, and it's screen side up. There's no padding on the top either. So it is Nintendo's bad packaging. It should be upside down and have a thin layer of foam or something at the top
Yeah.
for something so valuable, you know? But they don't. But anyway, it should be good enough protection-wise to be the way it is. So there's blame to go around from Nintendo and GameStop. But stapling in, so there was a tweet came
I've
recently.
never seen any shop that does stapling.
No,
it's just
either have I, mate. It's
Yeah.
mental. Tape
Yeah.
it, maybe.
Tape.
Buy
for
it as
sure.
a collectible sometimes, right?
Hmm.
Not
Yeah.
probably now, but they do. Like they just put it in a drawer and they wait for it to like have a value,
Yeah.
sentimental value. Yeah.
And you can't staple that because
Yeah.
otherwise it's then got puncture marks on it and it loses a little bit of its value. So yeah, no, it's madness doing
Gotta-
that.
Gotta have a pristine box.
I'm going to start
Yeah,
doing
it's-
that work. I'm going to get a laptop, seal it up, send it to somebody, but I'm going to nail nails in. Bah, bah, bah.
Right through
And
the
so
hard
just-
drive.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
just want to
Yeah.
watch the world burn, Matt.
Yeah.
But the reason this came out in a tweet recently, they were getting more and more stock. I was talking about the restock. They were getting more and more stock out. Nintendo are doing really good to keep up with demand, even though it keeps selling out. And then the tweet comes from GameStop. It said something like, I'm paraphrasing here, we've restocked the Switch 2, staples not included. And I'm like, oh, GameStop, too soon, man. What are you doing? You've pissed these people off that you just killed their bloody consoles with. So
Yeah.
it's a bit cheeky. That was brave to do that. I just found that amusing because I bet you those people that had punctures in their Switch 2 screen
Well,
were not
they were
happy.
trying to take the deflect
Yeah.
the stuff from the last scandal they had, so they just
Yeah,
created
that one.
another
Yeah.
one.
Oh, man. Anyway, so
Who likes to see the world burn?
the other things I've got a little bit quicker because I know we don't have loads of time. This is important to me personally, and probably for you guys as well. Again, Rumorville, like we say about everything, take it with a large pinch of salt. The next gen Xbox, whenever that comes out, probably maybe 2027, 2028. There's heavily rumored to support backwards compatibility at the hardware level. Now, this is really important because, for me anyway, the Switch 2 doesn't have any Switch 1 hardware or chip inside it. So you can't natively play Switch 1 games, and it actually uses an emulation layer. And I like everything vanilla, boys. As you know, I'm pretty dull like that. So, for example, a good example of that, another example of that was PlayStation 2 had, for a while when they sold the PS2, they stopped doing it after a while because it was expensive. It had the PS3, sorry. PS3 had a PS2 chip in it. And PS2 by default could play PS1. So if you bought the first 6 months or year supply of a PlayStation 3, it could natively play PS1, 2, and 3 games. But they stopped that because it was 2 SoCs, it was expensive. They take a premium on eBay right now. So being able to do it at hardware level is really important. So I'd imagine you'll be able to play many games going forwards at a hardware level. What are you up to, Matt? What are you doing?
He's answering
Nothing.
Merrick.
He's replying to me
Merrick-
because I said we
Merrick
have the
said-
same headphone pads. Yeah. So
Do you?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
just
but-
noticed.
Yeah,
Is
look at
it
that.
coloured in?
We're gods amongst men.
This is
What
some
model?
weird cameo.
What
yeah.
mo-
Yeah.
What model?
Well,
I can't even remember. I got it
If
from
you-
Amazon.
wait a minute. If you think
Headphones are
about it,
different. Yeah, headphones are
Yeah,
different.
different
I have
headset,
Sennheisers, yeah. But we
Yeah.
have the same headphone pads.
Padding. Yeah.
Merrick, we need
Ah.
to throw some hair
Ah.
on your head, and you'll look just like Matt. No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
No, really scare people.
We're dead sexy, we us. Yeah.
Okay, Palpatine supporter, you pipe down over there. But yeah, no, the hardware level support side of things is important to me because I like things native. That means that the next gen Xbox will be able to play obviously its own games natively, and it'll be able to play Xbox Series X and S games natively as well. Other stuff will probably be emulated, which is cool. I know they can't always put these chips in. I hope they keep doing that because everything's going online now in terms of game passes, and we could get into a whole debate of game keys and physical copies, and sometimes they sell physical copies of games with nothing on them, with just licenses, and you go on and download the game, and it's a whole debate. I won't go into that. But that is encouraging to hear from Microsoft going forwards, because everything's in Xbox now, as they like to tag the line. So moving on from there, I literally closed the wrong note down. I'm also an utter complete noob.
Wait a minute, I gotta ask you a quick question about Xbox. So the
42.
backwards compatibility, is that available on day one?
World premiere,
day one.
God, great.
There you go.
You're hilarious. I'll give you that. Yeah. The other thing I found interesting as well. I'm sad. I like things like this. Gray has got for Marek's purpose, he literally got. You'll know about this, being a techie man. He's bought the godlike motherboards. You know this one from MSI, Marek? Yeah, the godlike. I'll Google it. Yeah, Google
he's
it.
gonna have to look it up.
I'll Google it. Yeah.
Godlike. This thing's the size of a small child. It's huge. It's an.
Costs about the same amount as well.
It's the most expensive motherboard out there, but it's worth
an
it.
EXT
it's so cool.
board. It's full size. It's overkill for everything.
But it's great.
Yeah,
it's wonderful overkill.
To utilize that at its full potential, he would need everything, ideally PCI Express 5.0, and the only thing he's got is DDR5 RAM. That's it. Everything else, but he's future proofed.
6400 MTS though, at least.
That
enabled
is not
Expo. So
yeah. So it's your the latest gen of RAM, but nothing else. So he's future proof, but. That board is for enthusiasts, Marek, right? It's for the high-end overclockers, the high-end geeks and stuff.
And I got a Gen 5. I got a Gen 5 hot swappable hard drive card on the computer with the two little hot swaps on the outside. You pop a button, this little thing comes out. You load in the Gen 5 hard drive, close it, boom, you're in action.
Yeah. As soon as you paste Minesweep, the whole thing will crash.
Well, yeah, that's why he changed. He was on Intel 13th gen, and everything was melting. Pretty much like Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz melting, like literally. So he was had enough. He would be on the middle of a podcast and he'd be talking like me, like for too long. And you're like, just shut up, and then he just disappears, and you're like, hallelujah, he's gone, and it's because he kept crashing.
Yeah.
So
and it wasn't even just the heat. The chip was so unstable, just like. And all the reports you hear about Intel. So I was doing editing on Adobe Premiere, Marek, and no joke, I was only trying to put together a 10-minute video, right, which takes a little time with the editing, and it crashed 15 times. And I'm like,
we told you to start.
I finally just went, enough of this crap. I hate this. I just went a whole hog on the other.
We did say to the man, improve your cooling. Like he gets other people, he gets a technician to do it for him, right? Fair enough.
I don't build my own anymore.
So
I'm tired of that.
I was like, just take off that's why I'm on the laptop tonight. I'm literally, if you can see my mess of a place, there's the old PC and the new PC underneath it getting built as we speak. So I'm on a laptop tonight, but I'm building my own to save myself hundreds of pounds potentially, and it's worth it in the end. I said, great, listen, just take the cooler off, buy a new AIO, put good thermal paste on it, and you'll probably be fine, and like lower your voltage and whatnot in your chip. But listen, I'm not going to take the piss out of them. Like everyone's got different capabilities and levels and comfort levels, more importantly, of what they want to do with their PC. So
I just took one look at that motherboard and went like, I must have it.
Yeah.
Who cares if I'm paying my credit card for the next year or two?
So I literally am upgrading mine because I'm not going to get outdone by an old man. So I'm keeping my board though, because I've got the backwards board Project Zero, where all the ports are on the back of the motherboard, Marek. So it looks nice for OCD purposes. I'm not changing my board. There's nothing wrong with my bloody board.
It's okay. But you can be the prince. I'll be the godlike.
Well, no, because I've got a 5080. You're still on the peasant 4070, my friend. Yeah. So you know, get that up.
So anyway, you were going to say something about PCIe.
Yeah. So the reason I bring that up is we've got well, it's been not rumored, but it's a thing for a while. PCI Express 6.0, and that's something that people are talking about we won't get until 2030. It's purely
No.
down to supply and demand. It's
No one
purely down
wants
to
it.
yeah, it's been so great. Like when they come out with these new standards, they had to ratify them and agree on them, and then it's up to manufacturers, board people, and whatnot to go out and actually make these things, and they don't make them until there's demand for it. So with this here, while it's been agreed, we've only really started in the last kind of couple of years starting to get 5.0 things that are actually getting bought and utilized. For example, Gray, none of your parts are 5.0. The only thing I've got 5.0 is maybe the RAM DDR5, but I don't have storage. I don't have a 5090 that could even utilize that. It's 5.0 is only barely being used at the moment. So what's the point of having 6.0? But the 6.0 speeds
Yeah.
were going to be absolutely mind-numbingly blow your socks off. At the moment, 5.0 is already nuts. Like you could get like crazy speeds in your SSDs of like 120,000, or sorry, not 120,000, over like 80, 90, 100,000 speeds that I've seen in these SSDs. And they're just not required. Like they're so big, they need their own heat sinks and whatnot, and their own fans and liquid cooling SSDs. If they're not a thing, will probably be a thing at some point in the future. But I kind of find that fascinating as well because we're barely using 5.0, and they're already saying, yeah, well, we're not in the rush to release 6.0, maybe 2030. We're ahead. They're basically getting ahead of the competition that's not required at the moment. But yeah, that is me for the tech news on my end, Mr. Gray.
Well,
Nice,
it's a good
nice.
thing that PCI 6.0 is going to come out to 2030 because I could be godlike until then. So
Yeah.
that's good.
You're godlike with a small G. Small G is it Thor?
Yeah,
They call God
whatever.
with a small G.
Everybody knows what it means. What you want to get the box? I'll show you. It's not how
Oh
big the G
God,
is.
here it is. Are we
Come on.
measuring dick? Are we measuring dicks here,
It's
Remy?
not as godlike as you think because it won't actually recognize it through the camera.
Oh yeah.
Here, because
yeah.
we'll do that. We'll do that, my friend. Don't you worry about that.
You
You know
do
what's
some
funny?
magic.
Side note: I went into the BIOS finally to take a look at the the interface and everything. Wow, there's stuff going on in there, man. And what I really liked, even though it seems rather simple, was that I wanted to get a picture of some of the things that I was seeing and doing. I could use my phone to shoot it, but all of a sudden I see a little camera on the top right of the BIOS screen, and it goes snapshot. Really? So I click on it, and sure enough, it takes a screenshot and throws it into my hard drive, even though I'm not even booted into Windows. So I'm sitting there going like, yeah. So I'm sitting there snapshotting like all the screens and everything. Like it's pretty wild. So that was kind of neat. And eventually I'll put these snapshots on Discord so you can all Google on them. I mean, Google, something like that.
Yeah, with Google.
Anyway.
Definitely, yeah.
I know you'll be waiting for that one.
I never miss an episode of the Extreme Gaming Podcast. Well, mainly because they hired me to work for them.
We haven't done the mod corner in a little bit. I only do it when there's something interesting.
Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud?
I thought
So
out of minds comes the words. Yeah, go on.
In this mod corner, okay, I was very surprised to find out that Nexus Mods has been sold to an undisclosed buyer. So
Did he make money, Gray?
Gray, did you buy it? Was it
no,
you?
I wouldn't have the money to do that.
Sure. Yeah.
And, there's been no information on what it sold for, but the guy that ran it, his name was Dark One. He ran the site for 24 years.
No, and how did they make their money? Sorry, Gray. How did it make their money? Like, is it advertisements? Because I don't. Of course, it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, but now that he's built it up to such a degree where it's just like the number one site to go to, and I believe he has 80 million mods on there now. I mean, you had to get a pretty penny for it. But anyway, he said basically he was stepping down because it's gotten to be to the point where, it's taking a toll on his health issues and stuff. And he said, that's it. My health is a little more important.
She feels a lot healthier now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure he is.
Marek,
he didn't want to be burnt out. Okay, Marek.
Yeah. I got lit up because mods are also killing my life. Like,
Sorry.
I bet.
What have we done?
like you have people casually just having 200 mods, and one of them somehow has bad interaction with another one, and they come
Yeah.
like, could you help? Like, why is this game like? You have over 200 mods, right? there's
Yeah.
there's a level of
Just make
like,
it work.
yeah, it's
I mean,
man.
I like
Yeah.
I like mods. I'm not a heavy user, but when I do have mods, I don't put 200. The most I think I ever did in one game was maybe 5 or 6. I mean, I saw this. Oh, you'll love this, Merrick. There's a guy out there who has a passion about Skyrim, but his passion is technical. He wants to load every mod he can think of to make the game look like it's
I've heard of
today.
the
They
person.
made it today.
Yeah.
So I took a quick peek at it. 3,580 mods. I'm going like, how is that possible? He has that many loaded into the game, and when you watch it, it looks like today's technology and better.
How does Marek? Where do you cross the line then with mods in your server? I would say, listen, Matt and I work in IT support, and we only support what our companies use. If someone comes in with like third party stuff, we go, we don't support that, my friend. Is that your angle, Marek?
I'll take a look, right?
Oh, nice guy.
Your curiosity gets you, right?
Yeah, it's mom and pop shop, so like I'll take a look, but like if I see it's 200 mods, I will just go like,
Bye.
yeah, you're on your
Yeah.
own. Like I'm not.
I would go buy if
not
it was more
flipping.
than 10.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
so
got my max at 10. Yeah.
he's Nexus mods is not going to change. He just wanted to be sure that he's handing it over to good hands, whoever that is. And of course, don't be thinking in the gutter, guys. Come on. And then
What?
Great game.
I said
For
good
once you
hands.
Oh, okay. No, it actually wasn't for once.
So the staff is not going to change, or his staff's not going to change, from what I understand. Just I guess the CEO part of it or whatever. So I know it's going to leak eventually what he got paid, but I would imagine he must have gotten paid a pretty penny. Oh, I was totally wrong about this. Nexus Mods has just crossed over the 10 billion mod downloads.
You were just a little bit
10
off, man.
billion mod
Just a
downloads.
little bit with a B.
Woo! Man, I know people are downloading mods with and all of them are Stellar Blade. Did you know that?
Wow.
No, that's just you dirty old man.
Yeah.
That's you, like 90% of them.
I had to laugh though because with the I'll talk about it when I get to that point. But anyway, I just want to let you know that that's the story for the Mod Corner today. That they that's happened. That's rather monumental considering that one guy's done it for so long.
Ray, he can't promise that nothing will change. He might have assurances, but whoever buys it over they can do whatever the hell they want.
It's true. That's true. But if
So-
the person has got some kind of brains, they would probably only try to maybe improve on things, not screw things. But
yeah,
we'll see.
it's their business
We'll see.
investment. Yeah.
Yep. All right, that's it for that. And game news still is therapy sim. I knew you were going to do this, Matt.
I think I'm
As soon
going to
as
need it.
As soon as I saw there was a key available, even though there's a demo too, I had to send it to you. I said, I know he's going to do this.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Therapy sim. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so I haven't actually used the key. I downloaded the demo just to see what you could do and what the difference would be. So the key's still there in the background. Yeah, so this is Therapy Simulator. It's an interesting upcoming simulation game that allows players to assume the role of a therapist. Why? Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, people are going to go, oh, I'm a therapist now.
That's exactly.
Yeah, if you want to be part of Kate Taylor's world, this is it for you. So there you go. So yeah, with this one, you guide patients through their emotional journeys using branching dialogue choices. The game combines humor, humanity, and unpredictable nature of therapies. It offers an engaging and immersive experience. Players can interact with a diverse range of patients. We could say that again. Some of them, I swear, I know.
I'm waiting for that.
Yeah,
That would be funny.
Some of them are here. Patients, yeah. So range of patients while managing their office and home environment. So far, I just see The Office, and it's a bit of a mess and needs cleaning up. And the people that I get, oh my god, I swear I could give them names. So the game has been scheduled for early release on July the 14th this year, so it's not too bad. The developers plan to introduce additional content and improvements based on player feedback, ensuring a refined and involving gameplay experience. So the game mechanics.
Wait a minute. How can I How can I call it a gameplay experience? You're a therapist. What kind of gameplay is there?
Being a therapist is a game. You know, you have to play the game to be a therapist for sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Take words. I've been to a few.
They
all read the same book. Let's just say that. Okay.
What I want to know is when you finish
got
playing
the
the game,
answers.
do you get a certificate that says you're an official therapist?
I'm still waiting for my certificate. I think I have to send off some tokens and gift cards for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
go ahead.
So the features of the game is narrative-driven gameplay, interactive decision-making, which is part of it. So each patient has their own dynamic story and personality. With it uses AI, enhanced dialogue, adapts
Of course.
based on what you choose to ask them and stuff, which is quite interesting. Like, you know, I'm like, I'm going to, you know, click on some stupid old question thing. Well, I end up not. I kind of just throw in my own normal, this is the way to do, you know.
We are not seeing a lot of cool AI games. I was thinking we're going to see a lot more cool dialogue-based games that are utilizing.
I don't think they're at that point yet, is what it is.
I think there might be one coming out eventually. It's on Steam. It's where you're a robot, and I think it's...
I've seen that one, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still very dry for...
It is, yeah. Yeah, I still has quite a way to go.
Give it about a month, and it'll be much more advanced.
Absolutely, yeah. I think so.
I would say a year, but it's AI, remember? So,
Yeah. So you got branching dialogues that you choose, and the customers, clients, what would you call them? Characters will go with that pretty much, and they'll give you the answers to things. I got to the person where they came in dressed up as a horse head, which is quite interesting. So I was just like, wow,
they're taking it seriously, I can see. Very seriously.
Yeah, absolutly.
Can you create your own patients?
At my workplace?
Matt,
Pardon?
can you create your own patients to
No.
talk?
No, not yet. No. It's all pretty much... Well, you go to your computer, you'll see a list of people, you put them in your calendar like you would as a person.
So in the calendar that you make up, did you see man dressed as horse?
No, you just see a person's name. That's it, and then they come and they surprise you with loads of things.
Can you make customizations, like customize like the shrink or something, or like more horse heads, and the shrink can come in and like kind of Stellar Blade outfits for Grey and that kind of thing?
Yeah,
is that an option? Yeah,
not yet, but I'm sure we can fit Grey in somehow. Yeah, maybe with the horse's head.
Modders, here we come.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got office customizations as well. So when you spend time there, you earn money. I think it's about £200 per visit, or whatever they want to call it. So
sounds
with
about
that,
right,
eventually,
huh?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, take my money, let me go mad. So it's quite interesting that way. It has got quite a bit of humor involved as well, which I think you probably need to. But there is quite a bit of an emotional depth there.
Because the horse wasn't funny enough?
Exactly, yeah. Well, thank God it was its head and not the other head. Or it'd be a long face, I tell you.
Right.
So replayability is,
Well, you know what they say about horses.
Yeah.
No, Jesus Christ, boys.
Yeah, don't put one in your bed.
It's not even subtle anymore, is it? It's not even subtle.
Yeah. So patients are procedurally generated to ensure fresh gameplay experiences. So not all patients have the same thing. So there you go. Yeah.
Rating,
All right.
Wow.
Rating.
If you want to
Wow.
try the demo.
I'm so glad I could depend on you for a review on this. I knew you'd
You
go
can have
for
a demo
it.
of it, absolutely.
So Matt has become like our specialist in reviewing sims like this. We come up with one crazy sim after another, man.
Yeah, I'm
Nuts.
surprised on like mental disorder replayability, like actually going through and listing them. This one is fun. This one is not.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
If you can catch this one, then it's great.
There's a simulator for everything now. When I saw Power Washer was a simulator, I believed everything could be. It doesn't even matter.
Well, you got spray wash now.
Power wash and clean your house. Wow, that's cool.
Amazing.
Anyway, just to something a little more serious. We've all been hearing about all the problems that
It's more
Ubisoft
serious.
is having. This has gone so far. I can't even believe it. I thought it was bad enough Ubisoft was screwing up left and right, and the stock dropped from like 70 to $5.
Mr. Gray, really quickly, sorry to interrupt, mate. I'm just conscious of the time as well, and the quiz and stuff, and getting in under 2
shucks,
hours.
we missed his. Let's carry on.
No, are you okay with that, Gray?
Yeah, I may skip on the quiz, or we'll do something. We'll figure it out. Or I'll skip on my stories, and we'll go to the quiz. Anyway, again, on a serious note, I saw the heading on the article, and I was like, "What?" And it says Ubisoft trial witnesses testify to quote being tied to a chair, these forced to do handstands, women in skirts, forced to do handstands, and subjected to constant comments about sex. When they reported it to HR, one of the women was told, "Don't make a big thing of it." I'm going like, "You're kidding." And I started reading this, and I go like, "Oh my God!" I'm saying they're already screwed enough, and now all this stuff is going down, and I'm going like, "Wow." So, man, if you own any stock in Ubisoft, I would be selling it for whatever you can get for it, because this is like
they must be Ubisoft.
Too much, man.
Or it's the time to go in and buy it cheap.
I guess.
Before, it's one way of looking
After
at
this, it'll probably dump even lower. Yeah. Apparently, there's and this is let's see the following. They have allegations of widespread abuse, harassment, discrimination within Ubisoft, including claims against 2 executives. A former director has been accused of harassment and bullying. 5 former executives of Ubisoft were arrested by French police in 2023. 5, not 1, 5.
Wow.
I'm sitting there going like, wow, man. All 3 defendants, of course, denied the charges. The Guardian said that women were feeling terrified. They were feeling like pieces of meat. They said there's overwhelming evidence of harassment. If you hear them say overwhelming in the legal terms, it's got to be bad.
Gotta be more. Yeah.
They really don't throw that word around, very often.
That's disgusting.
It is. It's. They said that they're enduring sexist, homophobic jokes, drawing of penises stuck to their computers. This one is pathetically funny, but it's a manager who farted in workers' faces.
I do.
I'm going, you've got to be kidding
Nothing
me.
wrong with that.
I can't make this shit up. And I'm sitting there reading this going, oh, okay. And watch this now. It gets worse. They scribbled on women with marker pens, gave unsolicited shoulder massages, played pornographic films. I'm like, you got to be kidding. This goes on and on and on, man. There's so much of this stuff in the suit. It's like, and they said the guy came out, another executive came out, and he liked to crack whips near people's heads to get him to work.
Disturbing.
This is, and I'm sitting there going like, man, this is just way beyond what I thought. So, and they said that some of this goes back to 2010. I'm going like 2010 to up to today or whatever. And I'm like, jeez, man. So I don't even need to read any more of the article. You get the gist, but it's just like,
it's terrible. Ubisoft, you need to do better.
Tell me about it.
Down. You're just going to lose everything.
Yeah, I mean, you hear little things here and there, but to see that this much, I mean, that's a lot of stuff. And what are we not hearing? I mean, there must be a whole lot more. So yeah, Ubisoft's got some issues, man.
The worst thing I've done is fart in the elevator and ran out before the doors closed on people.
I'm gonna, guys. I'm gonna skip my next 2 stories. Did you want to fit something in, Trev? Or
no, time wise, it's just
all right. Then we'll move it. We'll move it to next podcast. So we're gonna move on to the to the famous EGP quiz that we all like, and that Matt usually wins. But hey,
Yeah, usually this.
you never know. So let's play this real quick.
Do you think you have what it takes for the Extreme Gaming Quiz?
So thank
new.
you, Dave.
That's
Thank
new.
you, Dave. I notice I'm watching Merrick. He's getting darker and darker by the second. I could actually see him
really?
before. Now I can't see him
Background is
anymore.
changing. Yeah.
He's not paid. He needs to put more money in the electricity meter. I think.
Merrick, I think actually you're just as bright as you always were. It's AI that's taken the frame out of.
Sure.
All right, let's get to the questions before we run out of time. Number 1, in The Walking Dead Season 1, this is for obviously aimed for Trev. What is the name of the main character's brother? In The Walking Dead Season 1 video game, what is the name of the
Telltale
main
series?
character's brother? I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
I
And
never
B.
played the
Everett.
Walking Dead video game. I never played the video game. I thought you meant
Nope.
the TV show, which
All
would
right,
make
what do you
sense.
say, Matt?
B. Everett. Ben Everett.
B.
That
Everett?
is so Pacific,
Ben.
man. Jesus Christ! Like this
Ben.
is what
I
happens
don't
when you
know.
stay at home and you
Are
actually
there
supposed to be
answers?
I
working.
only know Everett. No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Merrick. What did you
Yeah,
say?
normally you put like.
Oh, I'm not seeing because is there ABC or an answer like that?
No,
somewhere?
no,
you just have to
no.
read it.
No, I played the game, but I don't remember. No.
Oh,
Yeah, you need to put
Merrick, come
ABC.
on,
When did
man.
you do it?
I don't know.
Guess.
So,
I don't know who.
the name of the main character's brother is, I'll give you a clue, quack, 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 quack. Quack.
No, no.
It's the duck. It's the Looney Tunes duck guy. What's his name?
The name of the character's brother is Duck, as in duck. Quack, quack.
Oh.
Question 2. In the game Skyrim,
There's
what
no
is the
guy
name
called
of
Duck
the...
in that.
Apparently there is. All right, you should know this, or people that play Skyrim should know this. In the game Skyrim, what is the name of the dragon language used for shouts? What is the name of the dragon language used for shouts?
Thumb.
It's all through the game. Say, what was that, Matt?
Thumb.
Okay, thumb.
Thong.
What do you say, Trev?
Hi home.
Irish.
Irish.
Gaelic. Yeah.
Sure.
About the same. Yeah.
Merrick, you have any guesses?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the thumb. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's
Well,
that.
ding, 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 ding. Matt and Merrick are correct.
Jesus
it is
Christ,
thumb
man.
or theum or thumb.
Wow.
something,
You
I
should
don't know.
actually work during the day sometimes, Matt, instead of playing video games. Actually, maybe no.
Well,
You're
somebody's
good.
got to play it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone's good. Hey, he sat through therapy simulator, so
Yeah.
Number
I'll work
3,
someone out.
last question. Last question, number 3. Which game series is set in the fictional city of Bright Falls?
Bright Falls rings a bell.
Which
you
game
don't
series
get
is
this,
set in the
then you're
fictional
terrible.
city of Bright Falls? Any
Is
guesses?
Is it Silent Hill or Resident Evil? Silent Hill?
Silent Hill.
Just a guess. It's a guess. Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Silent Hill.
What do you say,
Mhm.
Matt?
Silent Hill.
Yeah. Merrick,
mhm.
you have a guess?
I'll agree with that.
No?
Silent Hill. Yeah.
Well, you're all wrong. Alan Wake.
See, that's because I made a guess and I thought I got it right. Typical man. I was about to go nuts and lose my shit.
I was
if
going
actually
to
got
do
one right.
Silent Hill anyway, so I was like, yeah, it's got to be that.
That brings us to the end of another show. We'll be
It's the
back
town
next week
next
with another episode. And maybe Merrick will pop up someday again.
Thank you, Merrick, for joining us.
Yep. Thank
Yeah,
you very
Thank
much,
you, Merrick. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a twin with earbuds.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Boing. We're all going to disappear. Boing and boing and